Okay, in this lesson, I'm gonna bring in security and I'm gonna change my banner so that the picture that it shows, well, the picture actually we're not going to touch quite yet, but it'll only show a person's picture if someone's logged in, and it'll only show the profile choice and the logged out choice if someone's logged in. Let's take a look. Now, first, in order to get this done properly, I'm going to need to pull up a stub lesson that I have that has security already baked into it. I normally do security first. That way, if I mess up, I can just scrap it and start over. But here I have a project where security is and it's already working, so I can just go in and grab and copy and paste everything into my application. So this will be my data loader. We'll put them in utilities. Alright, so I have a data loader here. Actually, I don't want the whole data loader. I just want the part where it adds the users. So I'm going to add that in there. And I'm also going to grab my auto wires for user, role repository, and bcrypt password encoder. Now, the repository part isn't going to work yet because oh, I haven't put security in. Alright, so let's go back to GitHub and go to my pom.xml file. I should have done that first. Uh, ba, 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 ba. Pom.xml, and I need the dependencies for starter security, copy, paste. Oops, that's a depend. It's giving me the red because I just put a dependency inside of another dependency. It should look like that. Okay. And starter test is already there. So starter security, I think, is the only thing from here that I needed. Starter timeleaf, starter web, data JPA, H2, starter test, JUnit, and security test. I already have all that. Okay, so now that's in, I can import my changes. Okay, so that's good. If I go back to my data loader and try to load the imports, I thought that would have, oh, I know where it is. Okay, so I need to go to my security configuration. So we're going to go back to our lesson, to our source, main, and the security configuration. And all right, so I need to, and I don't have a security configuration here, so I'm going to have to create it. Java class security configuration. All right, so I'm going to grab all of this except for the package, copy it, and paste it. Now, user repository isn't going to work quite yet because I haven't created them yet. However, this should take care of this error here, which it does. Okay, so now I have to create my user object, which I'll create in models. New. Actually, let me create the role object first. Role. Okay, I need role.java, copy, paste. Now the role handles what a user is able to do, really, and it has a problem because it doesn't have the user objects, but everything else is fine there. Okay, great. So save, and once I create the user object, those role errors will go away. And then the role will be the fact that you have admin rights and stuff like that. And the user would be all of the individual information about the user. Plus, it already has the code added in. You know, I took this from the Introduction to Java Spring Boot book. It's also available on my GitHub. But basically, this user object will store all the user information. It's already handling encrypting the password. And the reason why the table name is being renamed to user_data is because by default, Postgres doesn't allow you to name a table user. And if you're going to use Postgres with this, you would have errors otherwise. Notice we don't have errors in role or user anymore. Let me go ahead and create my repositories. New class role repository. And the role repository actually doesn't have anything special about it. Oh, no, there is find by role. I forgot that that was added in. Okay. And we need to add the user repository. New Java class. All right. And this has several query by names. Okay, CRUD repository. All right. Okay, so that took care of that. So we should no longer have an error here or an error there. We still have an error here for some reason. Oh, role and user. And arrays. Okay, no more errors in data loader and in security configuration. The SS user detail service is giving us errors because we got to go create the SS user detail service. This is the part that actually handles validating the user against the database and grabbing the permissions that it has, the authorities that it has, the roles that it owns, basically. So I need an SS user details service. Okay, repository has its import. The user, got to make sure get the right user, the user that we've created. Okay, and role, again, the role that we've created, not one of the other ones. So that problem has gone away. So security configuration, we just need the mappings for the repositories, and all of the security configuration errors are gone. So right now, technically we have security integrated. The problem is, however, we don't have a template for our registration, and I don't have a page called admin. What I have is pages called, let's go to my controllers. We have we have slash about, we have pages that begin with organization, pages that begin with program. So let me go to my security configuration, and basically tell it, okay, we're going to leave the registration page there, but we're going to add organization slash star star and slash star star. And we'll figure out what other pages need to go there, but right now I just want to make sure everything can be seen. All right, so we've added this. Now we can go to, well, we need to know what our registration page is going to look like. So let me open up my templates. I'm going to go to my downloads folder. I thought it was in my downloads folder. Japaro, here we go. Template, horizontal, and I need the sign up page. I'll tell you what, let's just go to the index and then figure it out from there. So I'm going to go to one of the pages in my template, open it up in Chrome. Alright, so extra pages, there was a sign up page that looks like this, and I like it pretty much as it is. So it's page register. So I'm going to open the page register in WebStorm. Yes, you could open it directly inside of IntelliJ, but I like to keep things separate and neat. Okay, and so let's take all of this plus the footer, without the footer, without the script stuff at the bottom. Copy it, and then go to IntelliJ, and we want our, oh, I never made a login page. Alright, so let's make new HTML file register. Okay, and that's all of that. And I want to go to my program detail page and get everything that goes in the header. And the bottom links. Okay, and we need to see if this will actually come up. So let me go to my home controller and create the register. So request mapping, register, public string, register. Return, what did I call the template? Register. Alright, let's run it and see what we're talking about here. Okay, it is started. Register. Okay, that looks fine. The logo isn't showing, and I'm betting it's giving me an error, and it's probably because it can't find it due to the path. So remember, we had to change everything from saying just assets to saying slash assets. So if I go to the register page, expand this out and look at that logo image, yes, it needed to have a slash in the front. Slash there, save. I can check it again once I take another look at it. But the other thing I need to do is I need to wire up these fields to be like they are in the registration form. So if I were to take a look back at my sample application, main, resources, templates, registration, these are the name. This is what I need to do to the fields on my form. So I need to take this form, which starts right here, and use this stuff to fill it out. So I can grab this, copy, paste, autocomplete off. Okay, these names are fine, but what I need to do with them right now, I'm not going to put the validation stuff. Actually, why do it wrong? Might as well do it right. So I need the input. We needed to have th field equals. All right. So first name, copy, paste. Last name, type is text. Placeholder would be first name. Type is text. Placeholder would be first name. And then the name of it would be th field first name. And this would be th field last name. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and try it to make sure we keep it under time without the validation and see if we can add that in later. Last name. Okay, great. First name, last name, email. Okay. Password. Th field equals password. Sorry, my eyesight is going a little wonky. Password. Paste. There's a checkbox to agree to the terms and policies. I don't even know if I want to include that. And then the submission button. I don't think there's anything we need to do special about the submit button. There isn't. And that would be our form. All right. Now, in order to get the registration form to work properly, we're going to need to change something in the home controller. So in the home controller, to load the login form and the registration form, we need this. So we're going to grab that, add it to the home controller. This is get mapping, new user. And then we need to have auto wires for the. Oh, I didn't add the user service for the user service in the user repository. Da, 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 da. So the user service was a way of kind of making simpler the stuff that we need to do when working with the user so that we don't have to repeat ourselves by writing the same code over again. So we'll put that in utilities. Okay, get my imports, user, whoa. It figured it out. Everything here is right. Okay, so user service should now work. Alright, so all of that is where it needs to be. Technically, that should be enough. We should be able to test the registration, but as long as I'm here, let me go ahead and do the login form as well. Oh, that was one other thing. Home controller, I think it was loading registration, and I named it register. So register and login, awesome. And my login page, if I'm not mistaken, didn't look that different from my registration page. I'm going to open that in WebStorm as well. There's my login page. If I wanted to see what it looked like, I could go to extra pages, sign in. Okay, there's my my sign in page. I'm at 22 minutes. I guess I'm just going to be able to do the security stuff this time, but this is largely what I want it to look like. We'll worry about whether or not we're going to have social sign in later, but for right now, this is what we're working on. So let me go here, and again, I want everything except that little part at the end. Okay, so I can use everything from the registration page. Copy, paste, and then block out this stuff in the middle and dump it and replace it with this stuff in the middle. Alright, and since I already know I need to put in the slashes for the assets links, for the images, I'll go ahead and do that. And I need to wire up for the login form, email and password. Well, it's username and password. Did I have a username? Register. Okay, I'm not processing my registration form. That was something I left out. So if I go back to my controller, oh, I didn't go down far enough. So this post mapping here is what processes my registration. And I think I want to make one small change to that, and that is, well, now it's post mapping, so we need to do that input valid. So it's going to do the validation, model attribute, yeah. Binding result, yeah. The one change that I'm going to make, and I guess I need to make it in the user service file, is that when you tell it to save a user, instead of saving it into the repository directly, let's take a look at our registration form again. Actually, here. I ask it for first name, last name, email, password. Okay, so we're going to copy the email into the username. All right, so we're going to tell it now, was username required? No, nothing was required. Okay, awesome. So we're going to tell it when it goes to save a user, we're going to say user.set username user.get email. So the user's username will be their email, and we're not even going to ask them for it. We're just going to set it as that automatically. So that's what this little routine will do. There's nothing else that needs to happen here. So I need to wire up the login form. So let's go to my login form and go back to resources, templates, login.html. And if I'm not mistaken, I actually need all of this. So I certainly need this stuff from the form tag. So paste. And I need this to have the name username, and this to have in the password field to have the name password. It's going to get processed automatically by Spring Boot. So I just need this to have the name username, and this to have the name password. And I'm not bringing over this why not? Let's see what it looks like. So it'll be on the form in the div, but before the form. I think this will work. Okay, so if you don't have a form, you want to go to the register page, the social login. I don't want to put it in the application if it's not going to work. That just feels weird. So let me go ahead and rip that out right now. All right, let's run it and see where we're at. 27 minutes, 42 seconds. All right. We're at the end of this. Wow, couldn't find the register page. Really? Malformed markup, attribute type appears more than once in an element. Line 33, column 32 on the register page. Oh, I never closed the quotes here. Okay, so it's treating the whole page as if it was that tag. That's ugly. We'll run this again. Register. What? What now? Line 29, column 25. Oh, that's right. I copied that line, so that's still missing. All right, now hopefully refresh. We're at 30 seconds. So unless this works right the first time, we're going to go over time. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, we're here. Refresh. Awesome. So registration form comes up, blah, blah, blah. Let's see if I can actually register. I'm AJ. My password is password. Register. Okay, what happened? Error resolving template index. Template might not be exist or might not be accessible by any of the configured template resolvers. So my home controller is sending people to... Oh, if the registration works, it returns them to index, and it shouldn't. It should be returning them to home page. So it was saying that it couldn't resolve the template index. That's because I don't have a template called index. Let's run it again. Let's see how far we've gotten. All right, we seem to be there. Let's load the registration page. Not on my home keys. All right, so I'm AJ Henley, ajhenley2@gmail.com. Password, register. Excellent. But why are we here? We are here because it'll send you to the home page, and the home page doesn't have any programs. And why doesn't the home page have programs? So register returns, oh, it returns home page, but it doesn't load the data. So it should have actually redirected to the home page. Redirect / home page. All right, let me reload this. That is how you do that, right? Yeah, that's how you do that. All right. All right, so this is loaded. I'm gonna come here and say register. And once again, Alton Henley. Password is password. Okay. So we come here, that worked. And if I go to login and I say ajhenley@outlook.com and put in password, that is an interesting error. And why is it an error? So we did I not tell it where to go if it logged in properly? All right. All right, so I need to tell it where to log in if it logs in properly. However, I can still test to see if my data made it to the database. H2 console connect, select star from user data, AJ Henley at Outlook. All right, so my data got into the database. I have a registration form, I have a login form, and the login form works-ish, but the page that it goes to after it logs in isn't the proper page. I got to fix that using some magic in my security configuration. But that's it for this one. And the next one, we'll finish cleaning up the security stuff and handle the and finally get to the stuff that's in the menu bar, so that this guy, there used to be another one over here that would show the user's picture and the profile and the logout link, so we can get all of that fixed. But I'll see you in the next one.